Well, when Ed McCabe sent me this one-page bio of Lisa, it just warmed my heart because I was the person to have to deliver this, and she was a person close to my heart because she was brought up on a farm, and so was I. And as I was reading this bio, it is one page, and I don't want you to miss one word, but I had to renew my passport before I finished. Lisa Tepper Bates grew up as a fourth generation on a Colorado dairy farm founded by her immigrant great-grandfather. Followed her education at Colorado Academy, she went on to graduate cum laude from Georgetown University School of Foreign Service. Following Georgetown, Lisa joined the United States Foreign Service and served tours of duty in Poland, Albania, and war-torn former Yugoslavia. In Washington, Lisa worked as a special agent for foreign affairs to the Undersecretary of State and at the White House National Security Council as Director of Southeastern Europe. Lisa was honored to serve the United States in Washington and abroad as a diplomat, but her priorities for public service began to change over time from foreign service to the service at home. Eventually, Lisa and her husband, Scott, decided to return to Scott's hometown of Stonington, where both could become involved in their community and strive to make a positive difference of local level. At this point, I was saying, I can't wait to meet this little old lady that has done so much. Lisa then attended the Yale School of Management, where she focused on nonprofit management. While at Yale, Lisa served as teaching fellow for former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Tony Blair, and Dr. Miroslav Wolf of Yale School of Divinity on a groundbreaking multidisciplinary course, Faith and Globalization. The class, now replicated by several universities around the world, explores the interaction of religious faiths in a modern world and the ways in which faiths can serve as drivers of conflict and poverty, or contribute to peace and prosperity. In 2009, Lisa began work as Executive Director of Mystic Area Shelter and Hospitality, which is MASH. MASH provides emergency shelter and services to families with children who are homeless or at risk losing their housing, and has assisted over 550 children and parents since its founding in 1999. Lisa is a member of the First United Methodist Church in Mystic, where she serves as chair of outreach, member of the Church Council, and representative of the Mystic Area Ecumenical Council. Therefore, for her commitment to God's people and her steadfast devotion to housing the Lord's neediest, the Board of Trustees of St. Edmunds Retreat is proud and honored to present to Lisa Tepper Bates the St. Edmunds Medal of Honor for service to the church and the community, and declare to all that she is a woman of virtue and grace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm honored and truly humbled by this award to be in the company that I find myself in tonight. So I thank Father Tom, and I thank the St. Edmunds Retreat Board of Trustees for considering me worthy of this wonderful honor. But I'd like to tell you a little bit more about MASH, because it's the work of MASH and my work as part of MASH that brings me here today. For over 10 years, MASH has provided emergency shelter and services to children and parents who are homeless or at risk of homelessness in southeastern Connecticut. Our mission is to end family homelessness one family at a time. And while MASH began as, strictly speaking, an emergency shelter, the MASH board determined that a different approach was needed to more effectively address the housing insecurity of vulnerable families in our community. And in the last 2 years, as a result of that discussion at MASH, we have expanded our services to include homelessness prevention. And this is a wonderful program through which we can address the needs of families at risk of losing their housing before they are homeless. And this is a very important step forward for us because there's a lot of damage that can be done to the lives, especially of children who experience homelessness. They fall behind in grade level. They experience, to a much greater degree than their housed peers, behavioral problems and medical illnesses. And if you can prevent that, then that's a wonderful thing for us now and far into the future, because this sort of damage can have lifelong effects. So we're very proud of that program, and I'm very proud to have the support of the Board of Directors. I'm very lucky to have here tonight Jeff Anderson, who is the Vice President of our Board of Directors, Bruce Fielding, Cindy Ladwig, Mike Mondello, and Betsy Maukesher from our board, who are also here. Also, some of our wonderful guiding lights of the volunteers of MASH, Jessica Morrissey, Ann Esposito, and Maria Ackley. Thank you for being here, and these women have done great things for MASH to help us, help families in our community. And it would be absolutely unfair to not recognize Pam Mola, who is the office manager and the heart and soul who brings together and keeps together all parts of what we do. We're a small office, and it matters to have the right people there, and Pam is a blessing to us. And I want to welcome a lot of friends who are here tonight to be supportive, including the Reverend Dr. Weldon Park and Kwang Hee Park, who have been present in my family's life at times trying and joyous, and my family, Scott, my husband, my mother-in-law, Barbara, my brother, Brian, and my sister-in-law, Allison, who have made my work to help MASH do our work possible. With all of that said, you've heard already a little bit about my background. What I would just say, in addition to what you already know about me, is that the two driving forces for me have been my real love of this country and my conviction that the United States should be all that we believe we are. And to be that, we have to do a better job of meeting the needs of our most vulnerable. I believe that. I believe that part of our promise to our citizenry is that it's a level playing field and that every child in the United States can grow up to be anything they want to be. And if that's who we are, then we have to make good on that. And I can tell you that a child who grows up homeless and hungry and with a substandard education does not have the opportunities that I have had in my life as the product of the wonderful education and opportunities that I've had. And that is in part, that vision of America is part of how I came to leave the Foreign Service, which I loved, and I loved being a representative of the United States. But I came to feel there was more work to be done here at home, and I needed to do that work. So that love of America and also the fact that the teachings of Christ resonated more and more for me as I have gone through my life. And the fact that we will be judged as individuals, as communities, and as a nation by how we are able to treat the least among us. That's really important. And we've got to do better by the least among us if, again, we are who we say we are as a nation. So putting all that together, I decided to leave the Foreign Service, go to Yale, and come to MASH, and here I am. And I'm proud to be here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you. And I'm so pleased because every day in our little office, and we're grateful to be housed by the Union Baptist Church, and we've got a tiny little office, and we're always very busy, and we never have a bad day because we are doing the best we can every day to help these families who need this help so much, and that's a great feeling. So I'd like to leave you by quoting a prayer that was offered by a MASH board member, Father Mark Santucci, who unfortunately is not here today. He is the minister at St. Mark's Church in Mystic, and he offered the following prayer, which I thought was beautiful and meaningful. Dear God, let us remember the light that you are, and let us remember that we are that light. For indeed, while God may give strength to this earth, it is the work of our hands on which he is counting. So thank you.